Um, as things go with new equipment, things go with new equipment. So here I be doing what I do when I do what I do for me and you, and especially you. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump off into this.
Okay, party people in the house. You're
No, that wasn't it, huh? Man, it's been some kind of crazy day. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you. Um, if y'all haven't noticed, this these things still happening got me kind of stressed. More than a little stressed. I'll be honest with you. Um, Here I am. It looks like a lot of people made it here before I did. If you're in the house, you can hear me. Say hello, say hi, give me a thumbs up. Wow. Okay, what's up, people? I thought I was here already, but I guess I didn't press. I'm having all kind of technical setbacks, difficulties, things of this nature, and I just wanted to say hello, hi, how are you? I'm doing a couple things. Well, I'm doing a couple things. I didn't get a chance to do some of what I wanted to do. Oh man, this has been a crazy week. I'm just ugh. So what's up, Gwen? How's it going, babe? Um, this has been so crazy. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna do what I do when I do what I do. Let me loosen up my neck so I can breathe. Oh man, Gwen, it's been a crazy week, babe. It's been a crazy, crazy week. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of woosah, let it out a little bit. Welcome a couple people to the show. Technical difficulties kind of set me back a little bit. But with that, want to welcome everybody to kind of like my new set and what have you. If you're on YouTube, it's bass backwards. I mean, if you're on YouTube, it's straight. If on Facebook, it is what it is. Whatever you do, folks, this has been a crazy week, and I know you're probably feeling some of the same stresses that I'm feeling. Whatever you do, let me try to fix something. Do it good. All right. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. What you look like when you're doing what you're doing is what you're doing when you're doing what you look like you're doing. Express yourself. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Express yourself. Folks, I don't know what to say about this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trying to relax a little bit. This has been my craziest show, my hardest show, and I guess sometimes I say that, but this is crazy because there are a lot of things that I just have no control over happening in the world, and it affects me personally. Spaghetti-da-da-da, spaghetti-da-da, oh, spaghetti-da-da-da, skadadididididibop, Spaghetti, so let me calm down. Spaghetti, play a little horn. Spaghetti, boom, 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 boom. Ah, if it ain't the shit you want, you know? Yeah, yeah. Uh, oh, do it. Oh, do it. Oh, that's the best part. Folks, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this and I'm gonna get started. I didn't advertise the show today, and it's because I was kind of caught up in a couple of things. I've been doing a lot of research. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do it, Lord, Lord. It reminded me to do something. Oh, I'm usually real hype by now, but today I'm feeling a little. They used to have this saying in the 70s. They say I feel a little unnecessary. I feel unnecessary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, folks, let me go ahead and get started. I got to do this. Want to say good evening and welcome everybody to the show. I want to ask you guys, what you say about this week? How you feel about it? You know, I'm talking about how it affected me personally because, you know, I've got sons, I've got grandsons. So every time a black man gets shot, I thought we had hit a point where it was coming to a screeching halt. Um, I thought with giving these cops consequences, it would make them take a pause, but that's not been the case. To the contrary, young men are still getting shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and welcome everybody to the show. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things tonight. I tried to watch the Republican National Convention, and it was just so many lies. It just pissed me off to the utmost of pissosity. And then I was distracted by the shooting of Jacob Blake. To cap it off, I was utterly pissed to the utmost of pissosity when a 17-year-old punk goes out there, wannabe cop, and guns down three people, killing two of them outside of Kenosha, where they were had boycotts and what have you, and protests and all of this going on. To add insult to injury, the Republicans made it glaringly obvious that there are a lot of black folks just willing to sell themselves for a buck. And historically, I'm reminded of back in the slavery times, they used to have what they call a bitch and mule sale, bucks and mules. So they would sell these guys. And I see, as crazy as it sounds, I'm reminded of Kanye talking about slavery being voluntary. So you got some people that are volunteering to take money to sell themselves to the Republican National Convention. And it's the whole basis of it is to make it look like this knucklehead has done something meaningful for black people. And we know it's just the contrary. Um, the reason I feel the way I feel is because I keep saying this and I must keep on saying it. If we could be more like my Jewish brothers and we could unify And anything that affects one Jew affects all. And they all close ranks, they circle the wagons, and they talk about being anti-Semitic and all of this and this and this. So they come to the ready to fight this common enemy. We can't. And that's what this last 2 weeks has shown me. And it hurts me. I have to be honest with you. So for all of the reasons that I just talked about, the title tonight's show, Kneegrows, N-E-E-Grow, for sale. Kneegrows for sale. And the reason I spell it that way and the reason I start using that word is because these people choose to be on their knees. So the night show is titled Negroes for Sale, and the subtitles Black Folks are People Divided. So let's get it on. This week has not been a total loss. When I see some of the pro athletes taking the lead and using their celebrity status to make a statement, it does my heart good. And that's been my only saving grace this week. So I got to give a big shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. A lot of the playoff games are here in Orlando in what they call the bubble. Um, they have this arena set up with cyber people, and these teams are playing there. And the Milwaukee Bucks decided, since Kenosha is just outside of Milwaukee, and all of this is going on, how can we play basketball like ain't nothing happening? This man just got shot 7 times and paralyzed in front of his kids. They know, and I know, that the day is coming when it's going to be some well known person or an athlete who the police give some excuse. Now, this guy supposedly had a knife. This guy walked out of the yard around the truck they had. They say they tased him. The video didn't show that. They had more than enough people to take him down. Instead, they wait till he get to the car, pulled him by his shirt, and shot him 7 times. So they meant to them not kill him, to maim him for life. In addition to the pro athletes, I have to give a big shout out to Chris Webber. C. Webb is this smart, but he's very emotional. You know, the dumbest thing he ever did was thinking he was a point guard. And anybody remembers the Fab Five at Michigan? We out of timeouts, Chris. So, um, trying to do some comedic relief in the middle of this, but C. Webb was supposed to, or Chris Webber was supposed to call one of the games Wednesday night, last night. And when Milwaukee refused to come out, games just started getting canceled. They sat in the locker room for more than, they say, 3 hours. Um, all I could say is, wow. Chris gave this emotional, off the cuff response to what was happening. He talked about having an autistic cousin, a nephew, and having little cousins. He had to explain what debt was before they even saw it on screen. And he's talking about this stuff, and he's so filled with emotion that he's crying. And he kept saying, in the words of Martin, if not now, when? If not now, when? If not in the middle of a pandemic, when people should be coming together, when? If not in the middle of all of this Black Lives Matter and people coming together in the name of Black Lives Matter, then when? Dead space on the radio or on TV is something that nobody ever wants. But there are times when I take a pause simply because I have to gather myself. And I'll be honest with you. This is a situation where, like I say, not only could it be my sons or my cousins, my grandsons, it could very well be me. And with me being such a vocal person, I always joke about Big Brother watching. I know that I'm being watched, but that doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is not having not having a situation where there's a I can offer any words of encouragement or a resolution. So let me just move on. After Chris, then we had Kenny Smith. Now Kenny Smith, to everybody that kind of watches inside the NBA, Kenny Smith is a former basketball player. He sits on a panel with Ernie Johnson and Shaquille and Charles Barkley. And like me, like Chris, like so many black men and women, he was overcome with emotion and he spontaneously said he just couldn't do this. Being a black man and a former basketball player, he had to show solidarity to the players. But I know he didn't say it, but I also know that he was showing solidarity to those people that were out there, especially Jacob Blake and those other people who run the risk of being shot and killed simply for exercising their constitutional rights and asking to be treated like a man. And we're going to talk about that. The differentiation between treatment when you have an encounter with the police. And we had a glaring incident this week. Meanwhile, Kenny gets up and he walks off. Chuck, Charles Barkley, is drinking his coffee or tea or water like he's Kermit the Frog. Shaq has his big behind on the opposite end with some purple pink stuff on, and he just puts his head down. Ernie turned to Kenny and he says, I respect you, that man. I respect what you're doing. And Kenny Smith says, I feel I need to do what I need to do and then let the chips fall where they may. So he's basically talking about doing whatever. Now, I didn't catch the show. I only caught excerpts of it that I could find online. And part of what I'm late is I've been searching for Shaq's response. I've been searching for Charles Barkley's response. And in an article that I found, I think it was the Washington Post or whatever, they talk about Shaq saying, well, November's coming. Vote in another DA. Vote in another police chief. Vote in this, vote in that. But we got about 68, 69 days until November 3rd. The way this shit has been happening, that means about 5 people can die in the next 60 something days. Meanwhile, no cops have been arrested for Brianna. She was guilty while sleeping. So I felt like as Kenny walked off stage, somebody should have cued that old song, Black Sheep, this or that, this or that. Engine number 9 on a TNT basketball line. Because I felt like I kept waiting for Shaq and or Charles to say, I play ball too. I have young sons. You know, I'm well known, but people don't necessarily know my sons. So what if my son is driving in Palm Shores or Miami or Chicago or LA or anywhere in a nice car and a cop pulls them over? What's to stop it from hitting you? Until we start to take these things personal, until we start to behave like it's us and somebody that's near and dear our hearts being gunned down and not having an opportunity to grow up and see their kids grow up and so forth and so on, grow old, it's going to keep happening. So whatever Shaq said, whatever Charles said, I remember when Shaq first got into the league, and he was hard on Michael Jordan. He said Michael Jordan has this contract with Nike, and his shoes cost 175, $200, and now you know the prices have gone astronomical. And when they asked Mike why wouldn't he do something, Michael Jordan said, "Well, Republicans buy sneakers too." So now Michael has always made his position clear. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, in the height of this Black Lives Matter, when all celebrities was on the bandwagon, and I just want to pause for a minute because I'm wondering, where's Oprah? Where's she now? It's not popular anymore. You you like the glory. How about getting your hands dirty right now? How about doing something right now because it needs to be done, not because there's ratings to be made. Okay, but I digress. I remember when Shaq came out with his own sneaker, and he started an organization for kids called Twism. The world is mine, and he was doing all of these things in the community, and he was creating a brand of the people for the people, wherever I come from. You understand? Now he's become this corporate pitchman for all things for Papa John's. Now, the CEO of Papa John's was the one who bragged about paying for George Zimmerman's defense. George Zimmerman is the one who killed Trayvon Martin, and Papa John paid for it. And then when Obama was elected president, he cut all his people from full time to part time so that he didn't have to pay any he didn't have to pay any healthcare insurance. Now it looks like Shaq is a new business person, business first, and everything else afterwards. He's partnered up with Papa John's. He's the pitch man with his Shaqaroni pizza and the biggest pizza, and they've been bragging about Papa John has seen an economic turnaround. I'm one of those black people. I will never eat Papa John's again. I don't care who endorses it. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably not gonna get into any of the Shaq shit simply because you lay down with dog, you get up with fleas, and I choose not to have fleas. So his new moniker should be business first by any means necessary. You talk the talk, but you're no longer walking the walk. Charles Barkley used to be so outspoken, he would say, but he always said that he was no role model. You don't have to be a role model, you just have to be a voice. You just have to use your platform for good, just like these young boys are doing. So let me move on. What's happening with these young athletes? I call it the Kaepernick effect. These millennial pro athletes, it seems that they're doing more than just buying expensive cars, houses, and jewelry. I haven't seen this many pro athletes being so socially conscious since Bill Russell and Jim Brown and others came to Ali's fight. And they stood with Ali when he refused to be inducted into the army. When he was stripped of his title, they stood with Ali, even though they couldn't do anything. So again, I'm calling this the Kaepernick effect. Why? Because Colin Kaepernick demonstrated that you can start a social movement and still be economically successful. Some others need to follow suit. Now, has always been vocal about where he stands, and I give him much, much, much love for that. And anybody that knows me, once upon a time, I was one of the biggest distractors of LeBron only because he plays the game like a bully. Okay, but that's another thing. Nobody's perfect. So let me just move on. What we're seeing today is something that's unprecedented. We're seeing black athletes, white athletes, we're seeing coaches, we're seeing everybody now stand in solidarity. We saw coaches and athletes taking a knee before the game. Kaepernick effect. Let me just move on. After they did what they did in Orlando, the Bucks refusing to play last night, and the games, 3 games were canceled. Um, LeBron and the Lakers and okay, folks, just kind of messing with me. But all of these guys decided, got 2 teams, 2 major league teams in LA, and both of them decided that they were going to cancel the rest of the season. But economic usually wins out. So unfortunately, this is a contract negotiation year for the Players Association. So they were urged to go and play and find a way around, you know. So I knew the gesture, as dynamic as it was going to be secondary to capitalism because this is America. And no matter what we believe in, capitalism rules. Capitalism comes first. So I'm just waiting to hear what's going to happen with Kenny Smith. The commissions of baseball and football and basketball have now said that they get it and they're supporting Black Lives Matter. So let's just stay tuned. Let's see what's going to happen if things don't go our way in November. Um, the RNC, Negroes for Sale. Negroes for Sale. Negroes for Sale. KNEEGROWs. They're growing. They're on their knees so long, they're growing roots from their kneecaps. They're spouting every lie about how Trump has done this for me and done that for us and the Republican Party. One idiot had the nerve to say it was the Republican Party that freed the slaves. I wanted to pimp slap him and say, Trump is no Lincoln. And I promise you, if Delusional Donnie had anything to say about it, he would strip you of every bit of wealth that you have and have you in a indentured servitude position, working for him or some other people, because he believed anybody with any color is subservient to him. Servient being the operative word. There were so many lies told during the Republican National Convention that the fact checkers couldn't keep up. I got to the point where I was so angry, I turned it off. But I wasn't angry at them because I expected them to tell those lies. What I was angry at is the rest of you folks. You've been whining and complaining about what Trump has done, and Trump did this and Trump didn't do that, and he's not your president, and Obama this and Obama that. But you're finding a reason not to vote for anything other than him. So that's what makes me mad. That's what has me sitting on the edge of my seat, barely being able to get the words out of my mouth. And you know me, I'm a pro. I'm a professional. I get a little emotional, but I stick to the task at hand because that's what I do. But this is so perplexing. This dichotomy, this paradox is, hmm. I meet people and I just want to shake the shit out of them and say, don't you get it? November the 4th, November the 5th, you're going to be the same knucklehead saying, no, I didn't vote for Biden, but Trump ain't none of my president. What boggles my mind is there are only two horses in a race. So you got to pick one of those horses. You got to pick one of those horses. And we already know what one horse is going to do. We already know that. And we've seen what Joe did under the tutelage of Barack Obama. So that's our best case scenario. And how many times do I have to say this? And I've been saying this since November the 20th, 21st of 2017, folks. It's either this or that. So don't be one of those for sale. This election has to be a runaway for Biden, or we're going to see 4 more years of what we just saw, but the shit is going to be worse. I promise you. And I might be one of those expatriates giving up my citizenship and finding somewhere to go. Hello, my brother. Welcome to Ghana. Welcome to Nigeria. I want to talk to you. So when you see me doing my podcast from the motherland, I will say, hey, how are you? I am here talking to you from the land of our ancestors. It's funny, but it's not funny. So, folks, I got one more thing to say. And this is the differentiation. This is the glaring difference between how a white man is treated and a black man is treated, even when one of those is armed. You had a 17-year-old kid who made Facebook posts. And just like Facebook keeps interrupting me, I know his ass was being watched because I'm being watched. And every time I say something they don't like, they interrupt the feed, they do something. They mess up the dubbing, they do something, which is why we're going to YouTube pretty soon here. So, he shot 3 people, killing 2 of them. And then he skipped and walked his ass boldly to the police with an AR-15 strapped to his person. He takes his hand off the gun and he raises his hands and he starts waving. Not one shot was fired in his direction. Jacob Blake was unarmed. You know he was unarmed because he pulled up his pants. His pants were hanging off him. The only thing he was on with was them drawers and a t-shirt. And they had ample opportunity to take him down. They said they tased him and that didn't work. I've seen cops take down a whole lot bigger brothers. So they could have restrained him if they wanted to. They could have restrained him, but they chose to use deadly force. With this young boy, this young white boy, there's a video of them giving him something to drink and him drinking a cup of water or some nonsense, and he still has the weapon on him. Then he was arrested. So he went to the cops. I'm one of you guys. I came out here to show these so-and-sos that they're not going to be breaking shit up and stealing stuff. So I'm one of you. I want to be a cop when I grew up. That brings my last thought to mind. So many of the cops are that 17-year-old boy, only 10, 20 years later. They go on the police force with that mindset. So they already have it in their mind. As soon as I have an encounter with a person of color, especially a black man, I'm taking his ass out. And then I'm going to say, I fell for my safety. So I'm sure there's people lining up now to pay for the 17-year-old boy's defense. This is something else that gives me this frog in my throat the size of a damn armadillo. We live in a country where people see people do bad and they support them, just like they did with Zimmerman, just like they're doing with these cops, and so forth and so on. After Minneapolis, some police union somewhere said something, and they've been slow about arresting cops behaving badly. I know one, if Papa John's is lining up to pay this boy's legal fees, defense fees, let's see what Shaq's going to do then. Moving forward, we got about 68, 67 days till election day. I don't have no words of encouragement. I'm not my smiling, jovial, all of my music didn't even hype me up. Why? Because I'm, I saw a baseball player crying and he said, "You guys just don't understand. You don't understand what it's like to feel like you're being haunted in the street. Every time you get in your car and you drive out of your driveway, you're taking your life into your own hands. You have to teach a young black child, especially a black male child, not to just keep your hands on the steering wheel or on the dashboard, not to have all of your stuff in a visor. So when the cop asks for it, you don't have to reach. And you see, I can't even get my words out tonight. I can't even articulate because I'm so fed up. I'm so full because it's not just them, it's us. If we were standing together, right now, I think there are more other people standing with us than we are standing together. And that fucks my head up. I have no words of encouragement. I have no solutions to give you. I can't tell you to stop worrying about your son, your husband, your grandsons, when they go to the store, when they go to get some gas, when they come to pick you up from work, when they're driving to school, when they're trying to run to get in shape. I have no words of encouragement. I'm at my wit's end. I, I'm at a loss for words. All that I said was just, it means nothing. So, like you, I reflect. Going off, I hear my mom's song and I reflect. All I hear is Sam Cooke, the words of Sam Cooke. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come. With that, family, I'm going to wish everybody a good night. And I apologize for my behavior, but I'm too black, too proud, and too strong to feel any other way. So I'm not apologizing for my blackness. I'm apologizing because you are my people and I didn't keep it together. As always, I'll see you guys next week right here. Same Baptiste place, same Baptiste time. And party, love, peace. Healing for our world, people. Good night. I love each and every one of you. Bye.